Welcome to this Introduction to NEBOSH International General Certificate Unit 2, Risk Assessment. In this introduction, we focus on Unit 2 content and assessment requirements. Unit 2 of NEBOSH International General Certificate has the following elements: physical and psychological health, musculoskeletal health, chemical and biological agents, general workplace issues, work equipment, fire and electricity. In this unit, you will be studying different workplace hazards, the risks associated with them, and how to control this risk. You should be applying the theoretical safety knowledge you studied in Unit 1, such as risk assessment, in a way that helps you control and minimize occupational health and safety risks. You will sure need to apply the hierarchy of controls recommended by the International Labour Organization, or the ILO, to all the hazards you study in Unit 2. This unit is assessed by an open book assignment and not a regular examination. Once you're done studying all elements, you shall need to complete a risk assessment assignment or project. This assignment does not have a quantified passing mark. This means you either get pass or refer. You get pass if you meet all the criteria set by NEBOSH for passing this assessment. You get a refer if you fail to meet one or more criteria set by NEBOSH for passing this assessment. Unit 2 project or assignment is marked by an external examiner appointed by NEBOSH. For you to complete and submit this risk assessment, you must first complete studying all your NEBOSH International General Certificate elements. This link to NEBOSH IGC webpage contains the student's Unit 2 assessment pack, which contains all the forms you need to complete and submit your risk assessment. To help you with this assignment, NEBOSH based the risk assessment format on the Health and Safety Executive's approach to risk assessment. The Health and Safety Executive, or the HSE, is the British health and safety regulatory body. You can refer to the risk assessment guidance, examples, and frequently asked questions on the HSE website. In this lesson, we give you some helpful tips on how to complete your risk assessment exercise and submit it successfully. All the information in this lesson is based on the guidance document provided by NEBOSH for this unit. You can download the actual NEBOSH guidance document for learners, which is included in the assessment pack from the NEBOSH website. In this guidance document, NEBOSH clearly states that your risk assessment should not be about creating a huge amount of paperwork. Your risk assessment should be realistic, and its level of detail should be relevant to the level of risk in your organization. NEBOSH provides you with a completed risk assessment sample for your reference. The completed example may be downloaded from the NEBOSH IGC webpage link to resources. When it comes to word limit and recommended length of your risk assessment, NEBOSH provides you with an approximate word limit recommended for each field in your risk assessment form. These word counts should be used as a guide only and should not be seen as an absolute minimum or maximum. You must use the risk assessment form provided by NEBOSH, which you may find in the Unit 2 assessment pack. Your assessment can either be handwritten or completed electronically. The assessment pack contains two sets of forms, one for handwritten assessment and the other for an electronic submission. For electronic forms, once you start your assessment, you must double-click the page footer and insert your learner number and name on the first sheet. The page numbering will change automatically as you increase the number of pages that you use. For handwritten forms, you must ensure that your learner number and name are written on top of every form. Additionally, you must ensure that you include the page numbers at the top of every sheet where indicated, for example, page 3 of 8. NEBOSH recommends that you submit your risk assessment electronically. The time needed to complete the assessment is not restricted. However, 3 hours is the recommended time for this assessment. 3 hours is for guidance only. You may choose to take more or less time to complete your assessment. It is advisable to check your approach with your tutor prior to submission. The tutor may give you guidance on whether you are heading in the right direction. For example, if you choose a suitable workplace or a situation. Do not submit drafts of your work to your tutor, as they are not allowed to pre-mark or comment on specific details. This may be considered as malpractice, which we will discuss briefly later on. Once you are done with your assignment draft, it is recommended to use the completion checklist provided by NEBOSH for this assessment. The completion checklist is included in the assessment pack, which you need to download from the NEBOSH website. The checklist breaks down the assessment into different stages. It should help you to make sure that you meet the minimum criteria for the assessment prior to submission. Please note, you do not need to submit the checklist with your risk assessment. The checklist is for your guidance only. Once you are done with your assignment and you feel confident about it, please check with your learning partner or training provider about submission, usually via email if submitted electronically. If you like this lesson, why don't you consider our full e-learning program? I'll talk to you there.